All across the world, there are many different countries, but not all countries are called the same. Some countries have more than two names, some are really well known, and others not so much. Today, we dive into 3 examples of countries that have 2 names. For this first place, let's get the biggest elephant out of the room, Taiwan. Most people just know it as Taiwan, but it's actually officially referred to as the Republic of China. This might sound very counterintuitive because they're currently in a bit of a hot situation with China, but at one point Taiwan used to control all of this. You see, Taiwan, or the Republic of China, started in 1912 when Sun Yat-sen overthrew the Qing dynasty and stopped a system in China that had been going since humans existed. However, he couldn't be president because he made a deal with a Qing general named Yuan Shikai so that he could become the first president, and then that would stop the war. The deal went through, and so in the first elections, Yuan Shikai won under suspicious circumstances. Then, he declared that democracy was just a failed experiment and declared himself emperor of the new Empire of China. After only a year, Sun Yat-sen retook control of the country. However, this plunged China into the warlord era. If you know the game Hearts of Iron 4, you know this very well. But basically, different military generals and basically anyone tried to take control of China, basically ruling over individual provinces. Some provinces, like Tibet, even broke away and became separate countries. Sun Yat-sen tried to march north to take over Beijing and Nanjing, and take control of the 2 hearts of the country. However, once he had reached Nanjing, he caught cancer and died the same year. This led Chiang Kai-shek to take over, and eventually they had gotten very close to finally controlling all of China. However, a new threat emerged, the Chinese Communist Party. The history of the Chinese Civil War is really long, but basically, the Communists almost got defeated. However, they pushed back and regrouped. Then, in 1937, Japan invaded. Now, most people always think that World War II started when Poland was invaded by Germany. However, I was always taught that it started when Japan invaded China. The history of the Second Sino-Japanese War is actually really long and cool as well, but basically, Chiang Kai-shek and Mao Zedong decided that they both hated each other, but that they both equally hated the Japanese, maybe even more, so they decided to team up and eventually defeated the Japanese. However, the Civil War resumed, and the Communists pushed the Nationalists, led by Chiang Kai-shek, all the way to Taiwan. The reason China never invaded Taiwan before is because after winning, they didn't have a navy, but they did have small wooden junks, and Taiwan, actually, has a couple of islands just off the coast of China, a 3-hour boat ride. So, eventually, China did invade this island, Kinmen Island. However, they were pushed back because they used wooden boats. Taiwan has never given up the notion that it is the real China, so they still call themselves the Republic of China. And China says that if they were to declare independence as the Republic of Taiwan, that would mean that they would invade. So Taiwan keeps calling itself China, but at the same time also accepts that they're not the real China and that they're basically just Taiwan. As you can see here, this little press announcement, they call themselves the Republic of China, then in brackets, Taiwan. Moving on, let's talk about the Ukraine. Wait, but doesn't it just say Ukraine? What's going on here? Well, basically, the reason there's so much confusion between Ukraine and the Ukraine is because the term Ukraine actually means borderland in Russian. This is because it was always sandwiched between whatever European power was relevant and Russia. This is also because for a long time, Ukraine was known as the Ukrainian Soviet Socialist Republic. This is why a lot of people born during the time of the Soviet Union still call it the Ukraine till this day. These days, though, the country is just referred to as Ukraine, officially and by the younger generation. Besides, the term the Ukraine is associated with bad times to most Ukrainians, so in support for their war, I think we should be calling them Ukraine instead of the Ukraine. For this last country, let's go to a place that literally no one's ever heard about, the Democratic Republic of the Congo, or its second name, Congo Zaire. This one's easy to explain. Basically, there's the Democratic Republic of the Congo and the Republic of the Congo. Now, people call them by Congo Kinshasa or Congo Brazzaville. Kinshasa is the capital of the Democratic Republic of the Congo, and Brazzaville is the capital of the Republic of the Congo. Is this all making sense? I hope not. People say this to distinguish the two apart, so if you ask someone where they're from and they're from the Republic of the Congo, they'll say, "Oh, I'm from Congo Brazzaville." However, both countries still call their citizens Congolese. The very simple reason that these two countries aren't one is because, well, the Republic of the Congo had a communist phase for a while, and the Democratic Republic of the Congo was very anti-communist. Also, the Democratic Republic of the Congo was busy doing the Congo Wars, which were actually the deadliest war in human history, so they just never got around to it. But they are doing more cooperation these years as the two countries grow economically. So, what other countries have more than two names? When will the Democratic Republic of the Congo and the Republic of the Congo finally merge already? And why do people still call it the Ukraine and not realize that they're supporting Russia? That's a very good question.